This is Marie, and welcome to Marie's Chatty Tarot. And today we are going to be talking about the Biden's loan forgiveness program. Now, a few months ago, maybe right before the election, Biden um, started rolling out that program called the student loan forgiveness program, where there was a link given on the White House page where people where students or uh, students that have graduated with high exorbitant amount of loans could apply, and they will be given like a loan, either forgiveness or deferment, to my understanding of $20,000 or in that range. Now, I might be a little sketchy of the details. You're going to have to help me out here. So before we get started, please feel free to share, like, and subscribe. And also, today, for those interested, I am using the True Heart Intuitive Tarot deck. It's a pretty cool deck. And yes, as I was mentioning, Biden, this is not the first time that we've heard of the student forgiveness program. I think Bernie Sanders mentioned this during his campaign in 2020, if I remember, or 2016. I'm not sure which. If anybody remembers the details, please feel free to comment below. So basically, now that is getting traction, a lot of the different states have been challenging this program, and they have been taking the Biden administration to court because they think or they feel like it's not constitutional. So now this case is going to the Supreme Court, if I understand correctly. So now, at this moment, everything is on pause because the Biden administration is waiting for the Supreme Court to review the case and to supply with an answer. So I guess the question that we want to ask the court system is, what's the outcome, or what is how would the court preside? Because whether you agree with this decision of the loan forgiveness program or not, I think everybody can understand or appreciate the fact that this type of predatory uh, system is not fair, and it's not right. And I think that there's a lot of reform that needs to be done for the loan industries pertaining to student loan, to mortgages, and everything loan related, because there is a predatory aspect to it that needs to be reviewed and investigated. Now, with that said, whether we agree the loan should be dispersed, should be forgiven or not, that's another issue, right? So that's another issue entirely. And if you're interested about, having a separate video about that, I'll be happy to hear your comment. But let's see what the card wants to say about it, and what outcome the card thinks the Supreme Court is gonna make pertaining to the Biden student loans forgiveness program. So let's see what the Supreme Court, where they're leaning towards pertaining that matter, because a lot of people are affected by it. I know a lot of people who are still paying their student loan, and they're in their 30s and 40s. And it's a big deal. A lot of them were not able to buy a property. They're not able to leave their family home. They're not able to buy their own home. So it's It's a big deal. So let's see what the cards wants to say about that. Okay. Oops. Okay. First card is the Six of Cups. Second card is the King of Cups. Third card is the Ace of Cups, which is the past. I'm seeing a lot of cups here. Ten of Cups, present. It's a lot of cup signs so far. And Princess of Swords is potential outcome. Two of Swords is clarification. And Queen of Disc is clarification. So that's interesting spread. Okay, so the first card is the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups is basically a card of, you see, this older child, looks like a boy that's giving a cup to this little girl. And usually that card is a card of giving, is a card of sharing, of charity. It could be a card of big brother giving to little sister type of feel. It's not a malicious card per se, but it's a card, you know, to show that they're trying to, the intention is they want to help out a particular group of people. So this is what is coming up for the first card to answer the question. That's what the intention is. The Biden administration, they want to help out a particular group of people. Okay, so we're clear on that. So that's not new. So the King of Cups, it represents the situation, and the King of Cups is it's usually a person, or it could be a person or a situation where the fact that the Kings appears, it shows that that's the highest degree. So this person, the King, is usually a person whose intention is not always clear, or he's very good at manipulation, at using somebody's emotion and manipulate that emotion around him to his advantage. So this card, depending on how it is aspect, it's usually somebody who's very manipulative. He's using his position, his situation to get to lord over that person. And I think it's, in a way, people can see that because a lot of those people, they are in a vulnerable situation, they are stressed, they are under a lot of, those students, they are under a lot of stress, frustration, and he's using that trigger to manipulating them, and as a way of, you know, can stay in power or to exert uh, uh, his authority somehow, as if, when it's a form of, I'm not saying it's a form of blackmail, but you know, once, if a person is not able to see clearly and a person is manipulating in addition, in that background, it makes a person very hard to see the truth, very hard to see what's really going on. So so that's what the King of Cups is trying to tell me, in a way, that they're using this situation to muddy the waters even more. Because let's say if the Supreme Court doesn't give the answer, the Supreme Court is going to look like the bad guy, and they're going to look like, oh well, we're trying to help, but you know, it's the Supreme Court that's not helping, something to that effect, where it may not be constitutional because, well, it's only helping one group of the population and not the other. Inherently, a lot would say that maybe this is discrimination. It's discrimination towards one group as opposed to the other. So again, there's a lot of manipulation going on with this card, emotional manipulation that's happening. And I think people need to be aware of that, not seeing the facts, not seeing the truth, because right now they're so strained financially, and their emotions are muddied and cloudy, and they're not able to see the manipulation that's happening right now. So that's okay. So in the past, Ace of Cups, I think a lot of people were happy, especially the students, when they heard about that possibility, about that avenue. I think a lot of people wanted the relief, especially the students that accumulated all those loans, thinking that, you know, getting that high education would have led to a better financial or emotional status, space, whatever, would have represented a new beginning for them. It would have birthed, like, because this card is emotional success, being happy and fertility and in abundance. Because a lot of people were expecting great things, a new beginning. And I think that's why a lot of people hold on, or wanted to have the student forgiveness come through, because they felt that that would give them a new beginning that they so desire. So right now, as a Ten of Cups, all tens are ending. So again, emotional. So this card looks like contentment. So I'm guessing maybe the the that tells me that maybe a lot of people have applied. Maybe some people have got approved to getting their debts forgiven, and maybe a lot of people are happy of the possibility. But the 10 tells me there's an ending. So maybe the White House started the process, but this 10 is telling me that this is a facade, um, that maybe it would be blocked, or it's gonna be blocked, or the money is not gonna be dispersed as of yet. Because again, all tens are ending. So maybe things were starting rolling out, but they're not completely. Uh, Maybe they started the application, maybe they started the approval process, but I don't know if the loans have started to be uh, forgiven as of yet, because I believe there's a blockage uh, put in place because the Supreme Court have to review that case. So this tells me there's an ending of sort going on, or there's a blockage going on right now. So if please feel free to comment below. I would be very happy to hear your comment. So this tells me, ending, present time. Uh, they might give you the illusion that it's happening, but it's not, because again, the Ten of Cups can also represent a facade that something's being done, but whereas it's not. And then the Princess of Swords. So the Princess of Swords is also called the Page of Sword. So the Princess of Sword or the Page of Sword is usually a young, very young person, and this card represents a new beginning. All swords is thoughts, words, information, decision, and when that what swords are always harsher, firmer. Uh, it's and when you see a sword card, um, they're not typically bad news, or maybe it might be not. It might be news that you're not ready to hear as of yet. And every time that you see a page is a message. It could be a decision. It could be a message. It's also a new beginning. And I'm not surprised to see the message. It could be a decision. So usually the message or page are not typically bad messages, but the suit of swords is usually harsh. It's usually firmer. It's as if it might not be the information or the decision that you're quite looking for. Now, it might have a lot of the elements that some of uh, people were looking for, but it might not be 100% like forgiven, or uh, 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 so it might not be completely great news. And the reason why I'm saying this is because well, Two of Sword here. Two of Sword as clarification is, again, swords or thoughts, words, information, spiritual awakening. Two of Swords is duality. Is basically not wanting to proceed with either choices. You see this lady in a yoga pose. She have two decisions to make, but she's she is conflicted. She doesn't know which way to go, and as if she wants to put her hand in the sand, put the blindfold on, and not really wanting to address the matter. So I'm guessing maybe the Supreme Court is not wanting to be the bad guy in the situation, or not wanting to address it the way it should, because you know it's a bigger issue than it is. And with this other card, with the Queen of Disc, Queen of Disc, Queen of Disc, it's usually practicality, it's usually information, evidence, something real, something tangible, something uh, something something. It could be money, it could be assets, it could be, again, since we're talking about the student loan, it's interesting that the queen of this is showing about, is about the need for security, the need for stability, and also being concerned about money in a very big way, because this is dominating a lot of people with student loan. It's dominating in their life. It's kind of like a big weight on their shoulders. And so that Princess of Sword basically is telling me that, the decision or the news or the information that's going to come out, it may not be as great as people are thinking it is, is expecting it to be. Now, this is like a soft yes, like a very soft yes, because again, uh, swords are laced with some bad news or some challenging information or challenging news that they might not hear, wanting to hear. And the Two of Swords is telling me that there may not be a final decision, uh, uh, or not. Maybe the Supreme Court is not able to address it, or maybe there's not a lot of information, or maybe the way the case was presented is not able to be addressed, and uh, 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 and they're probably gonna have to find another way, I'm guessing, or with that Queen of Disc, maybe find a better practical way to address the issue, or maybe the whole system in itself needs to be looked at. The loan industry as a whole is probably going to need to be looked at. So that's an interesting. Oh, I'm going to take two more cards to get some more clarification. The Emperor and the Seven of Swords. So okay, so the news may not be as great as we want to. The Supreme Court may not want to talk about it, because they probably feel like this is a bigger issue that needs to be seen as a whole. And the Emperor is law and order for me. It represents stability, foundation. This masculine energy means action. And I think finally, with the Seven of Swords, that tells me that the decision that they make, it might be seen as a cowardly way of of uh, cowards way out, so to speak. So this is what that Seven of Swords is telling. It's a strategy. It's about trying to get away with something in a way that doesn't make them look good. It's trying to get the easy way out. So that's interesting. Wow. So thank you everybody for sticking with me to the end of this video. Please feel free to share, like, subscribe. I know that for people who have, those exorbitant loans, it's stressful, it's frustrating, and I wish you much love and blessings for a resolution to that particular burden. And again, thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.